You know, there's one thing that people are really, really ignorant about, and I mean like 99% of the population. It's something that I've been preaching my entire life, yet most people didn't understand it until now, but they've only got a whiff of it. The one good side of this coronavirus pandemic, and I know more people die from the flu every year, blah, 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 and of course a lot of this stuff is media-generated nonsense. You know, everybody's on lockdowns and schools are out, and I personally have witnessed, and I know it's worse because people tell me it's really bad up in the Northeast and Chicago. Like, people are just clearing out grocery stores, and it's hard to get some things. The one good side of this, if there is a good side, and there's actually a couple good sides of this coronavirus scare, is something that nobody listened to me on my entire life. I said, listen, the entire world sits about 2 degrees to the left or the right of pandemonium. And this isn't pandemonium going on right now. I mean, people aren't out in the streets like in the movie, you know, with chainsaws going after each other like you see in the movies. But people have got a whiff of it. This isn't a real, this is not like a real, you know, global or national emergency. It's not. I mean, I never said that it was. I never said anybody should panic. But the panic that was induced, most of which is, you know, nonsense generated by the media and other outlets, and, you know, I don't discuss politics or anything like that, but people have got a whiff, and hopefully that will wake them up. Is like, this was literally and is like, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like nothing. All these people out there talking about their lives being disrupted, and some people's lives are way more disrupted than others. I just heard that in Paris, France, that they closed down, I mean, in France, not just Paris, in all of France, they closed down all stores that are unnecessary. In other words, unless it's food or medicine, they shut them down. And, you know, they're starting to do, you know, schools are out and everybody's starting to work. This, like a scale of 1 to 10, this is like down at a 0.5. And people have got a whiff at the level of 0.5 that literally, like I said, I've said this for decades, my entire life. I said, the entire world literally sits only 2 degrees, you know, from full tilt pandemonium. It doesn't take that much for, you know, things to go from Ozzy and Harriet, hi Bob, how are you doing? Hi. To go from that, you know, to where, you know, Road Warrior. Yeah, let's Ozzy and Harriet and Road Warrior, you know, where like everybody is, you know, like packing a chainsaw and they're wearing like leather masks and, you know, from Ozzy and Harriet to Road Warrior. There's like 2 degrees of separation there. Maybe that's a really good analogy. Ozzy and Harriet, or Beaver. Leave it to Beaver. Hey, Beaver! Hey! No. Happy-go-lucky. There's 2 degrees of separation between Road Warrior and Leave It to Beaver. People have got a whiff of that now. They could either wake up and smell the roses. Yeah. Always be prepared. That's not being a prepper philosophy or prepper mentality. It's just saying, it's called situational awareness. Have your head on a swivel. Realize what's going on around you. Yeah. While everybody's out there panicking, some people, you know, and this is nothing. You know, this is really nothing on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's horrible that people are dying. But I mean, on a scale of what's possible, it's nothing, is the point. Yeah. It's nothing. If something really real were to happen, you know, things like that would flip overnight. Here's a movie line from the Batman movie where the Joker says to the Batman, it was the best line from the Joker. He said something to Batman like, he said, when things get bad or something like that, he said, these people will eat each other. Isn't that what the movie line is? I got the last part right, but the first, like, when things come down to it or something, these people will eat each other. It's really like that. People are, we're civilized now, you know, this is civilization. People People are people are so wrong. Yeah, people are so wrong. You know what? Also, and this is a sociological observation, and this has always happened in history. Like you have the civilized people of Rome, and then you have the farmers. Yeah, whenever like catastrophe, like real catastrophe, and this is not a catastrophe at all. I'm not saying it is, but when real catastrophe hits, the people that always survive are the people that the civilized people are always making fun of. This is a fact. By the way, if you're listening out there, if you were a civilized person sitting at home, sipping your cafe latte, you know, and your BMW is out in the driveway, and you got Muffy and Buffy and that little cute rat dog, you know, it looks like a fluffy white rat. You know, if you're one of those people, the people that you've been making fun of your entire life, you know, like Jim Bob up in the woods with his moonshine and his, you know, his 12 gauge, you know, that's got like, you know, he got jars of pickles and carrots and stuff. Like he's got like his pantry cover is like full of like 1,000 jars of pickles and peaches and cucumbers and spaghetti. That person that you're making fun of, if a real catastrophe came along, you'll be the first one to vanish like a fart in the wind, and old Jim Bob will still be kicking. That is not an observation about, you know, the hoi polloi, you know, the pajama boy people out there that are, you know, sitting there in their pajamas sipping cafe lattes in their studio apartment. And they're always making fun of people like that. The people up in the hills, you know, that is literally they love that class warfare stuff. But if the poop ever really hit the fan, and this is a fact, those people that, you know, all the highly educated, superior people that they think that they are, you know what I'm talking about. They got the little cute pooch, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those are the first people that won't make it. The people that will is Jim Bob in the hills. It's got, you know, lots of common sense. He's not book smart. He may be illiterate, and he may wear camouflage and drive a pickup truck. Yeah, but he will outlast you. He always will. There is a philosophy behind studying how the fact the people that are very into their own heads, and I am myself. You know, I'm a very intellectual person. Whether you agree or not, I don't care. You know, translate ancient Greek. You know, write books and articles. But I actually have my feet in both worlds. You know, my feet are in the world of common sense. People that become, you know, they want the high-paying job. They become a doctor or a lawyer. Those are the first people that will, you know, disappear like a fart in the wind when a real catastrophe hits. And people need to have their feet in both worlds. They have to be practical. They have to have common sense. You know, if they want to survive. Most people do want to survive. This is not about prepping or doomsday prepping or nothing like that. It's about common sense. It's like, I'm not a prepper. I'm not into, you know, into the world or conspiracy stuff. I'm saying have common sense and realize the nature of the world and how the world works. And it's an undeniable fact that chance and occurrence always favors the prepared mind. Always, without exception. You have to prepare for contingencies. That's like, what could happen? You know, am I prepared if this happened? Does not mean you have to live in fear. It just means that you are prepared. Your head is on a swivel. You realize this is the world, and in the world, crap happens. And it always happens when you least expect it. Yeah. This video has been brought to you by Common Sense. Common sense, the rarest commodity. Lux Veritas.